Hey guys, how's it going? Today I've got a treat for you. I'm going to be reviewing the Lost Vape Thelema Quest Edition. First thing I'll mention about the Thelema Quest is that it's a mod that is more for the advanced vapor. So if you recently quit smoking and you've been using smaller pod devices and nic salts, this may not be the mod for you. However, if you quit smoking a while ago and you've been vaping for a while and you're essentially just looking for a mod that you can customize, has a lot of features like temperature control, different user profiles, bypass mode, etc., then you may want to consider getting a device like the Thelema Quest because it is cheaper than the DNA version. Next, I'd like to thank Anna from Lost Vape for sending out the device and for supporting the channel. Without people like her and companies like Lost Vape taking a chance on relatively small reviewers like myself, I wouldn't have any content to give you guys. So again, thank you very much to Lost Vape and to Anna for that. And thank you, my subscribers, for continually coming on here, hitting the like button, commenting. I'm swamped and overwhelmed with life right now with the baby and other just stuff going on. And I know I haven't been active in my comment sections, but once I find a balance, I will be back on there because I miss our interactions. I really do. The next thing that I really just kind of want to mention, and I'll put a graphic up, is that they've got some really cool color options here. I like the red and black. It's actually pretty nice. But they have this awesome like clear series. Oof, beautiful. The battery doors are compatible with the DNA version of the Thelema, so extremely cool. They've got awesome color options that can pretty much satisfy anybody. With all that said, what I'm going to do is give you guys a close-up, show you how to work the mod, and then I'm going to come back up to tell you my thoughts on it. Alright guys, here we have the lovely Thelema Quest version by Lost Vape. As you can see, it's a beautiful device. Features dual 18650 batteries, 200 watt power maximum, temperature control, different user profiles. Really a fantastic and loaded device. Here we have the front view of the Thelema and the profile. I'm told that the battery doors are compatible with the DNA version. Side by side now with the Ursa Pro pod kit. Front and profile. And another one of my favorites, the Drag 3 by Voopoo. So it's a little bit bigger. Here I've got the Ursa pod in comparison to the UB Pro pod tank. The pod tank is a little bit skinnier, but definitely taller. These UB Pro pods are chunky little dudes. Look at that in comparison to a spent Kelvin G coil. It's insane. But mesh coil, tons of wicking. I mean, the flavor on these is great. As for the contents of the package, you first off get your Thelema Quest 200 watt mod. It comes with the UB Pro pod tank as well. You're also going to get a user manual for the Thelema Quest 200 watt mod and a user manual for the UB Pro pod tank, which is nice. A warranty card, which you can see behind the mod. And in this box, some rubber O-rings, which is always nice to have. A Type-C USB charging cable and 2 coils. One in the blue is the original UB Pro coil and the one in the green is the new one. This is the one I want to talk about for a second. This is the UB Pro 0.3 stainless steel 904 coil that you can use with temperature resistance. Now let's go to the features of the mod. 5 clicks is going to turn it on. You're going to navigate the menu by pressing that middle button right there. And then the up and down buttons are going to allow you to choose a different option. And then you would press that middle button again to confirm it. So I've been through this before, but it's a really simple setup. If you go into the settings, you can check the atomizer. You can see what type it is. You can measure it to see exactly what it's ohming out to. You can customize the screen, how bright it is, what color. Some of them are harder to see than others, so you know, I end up ultimately just going back to the white. Some people swear by user profiles. I mean, it doesn't have to be any specific user, but it could be for different coils that you like, maybe a certain RDA that you might have attached to the mod. But it's nice to have options to ultimately customize your vape experience, right? Now I'll fast forward through the rest of this. I've covered this before in my UB Pro pod tank review, but it is really quite easy to use. Play around with the settings. That's half of the fun of a device like this. Now I'll just show you how to use the UB Pro tank. First things first, it's got a removable A10 drip tip, which is pretty cool. Adjustable airflow on this bottom ring. You can open it up and close it. It's pretty responsive. Push down and spin and you'll be able to take it off. You can see there is quite a bit of condensation in there. I mean, it's such a huge coil in that pod, right? You're bound to get some dripping, okay? But nothing that's actually leaked out of the airflow or anything like that. You can see those reservoirs that are really good at picking up any kind of leaks and condensation. Just clean that out every couple fill-ups. Taking the coil out is actually pretty easy, but sometimes I forget just how big it is. So sometimes I'll kind of tug on it and realize that my finger is still touching it and keeping it attached to the pod. Usually I struggle with refilling these, but this one was easy. Refilling it's a breeze. The flap gives us enough space. Now I'll just fill it up with some 6 milligram juice roll-ups, and this one is gonna be called Done. Alright guys, here I am back on top with the Thelema Quest. How does it vape? These temperature controlled 0.3 UB Pro P3 coils are great. It's no slouch for flavor at all, and I think that it compares really positively to another one of the best tanks that I own, and that's just the Vupu TPP tank. I'll actually be reviewing their new version of that in the next video that I post. How am I vaping this? I've got 6 milligram juice roll-ups grape in here at 550 degrees Fahrenheit, 65 watts of coils reading in at 0.27 ohms. Airway fully open. Really easy to take a nice deep breath. There's no restriction when I'm doing so. A little bit of a whistle, which can be a pain or not be a pain. It really depends. Sometimes I don't like the sound from vapes. It drives me nuts. And I like to have like a quieter vape, but if I were to go and restrict the airflow, it actually takes away a lot of flavor. So ultimately, I feel like this review is going to come down to, well, how does this new P3 coil hold up? in regards to the P1, which is 0.15 ohm, I believe, and the RBA. It holds up really well, but that UB Pro RBA, like, it's perfectly sized, and you can just put a single exotic coil in there, like flat Clapton and Alien, and get loads of flavor from that. But this P3 coil here is pre-made and no fuss. So kind of comes down to that. I think if I were gonna purchase one, I think ultimately I will purchase another tank, because I very much like the flavor on this. I very much like the flavor on that RBA, and that's the one that I use the most. So it would be cool to have a tank essentially for both of them. Pros and cons. Let's start with the pros. Pro. It's a dual battery mod, so you've got plenty of battery power to get you through the day. Next pro has to be the fact that this device has so many different customizable options. It's perfect for advanced vapors. Next has to be the price. You're getting most of the features of a DNA chip for a fraction of the price. And another pro, look behind me. I mean, that Clear series, ooh. You know, the fact that you could take these doors and further customize them, that's pretty cool. It's something that I've been sort of toying around with on my 3D printers and stuff like that, with billet boxes and other types of like Boro mods. I very much like that. As for cons, I mean, there is a bit of a whistle. You know, and that can be irritating. And another con has to be that there's no higher resistant options. So if we had a UB Pro 0.6 ohm coil that was temperature controlled, or a 0.8 coil, that would give us more options to like start to do like restricted direct lung hits with salt nic, and deliver more nicotine to people that are still very much addicted to nicotine. So that definitely has to be a con. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. It's a really good mod to have. I haven't touched my Drag 3 in a little while because I've been testing this and it's done everything that I've asked it to do. Good job, Lost Vape. It's a good device. With that said, thank you again for watching. Please, if you have the time, click the like button, subscribe, click the notification button, the little bell, so you get notified when my new videos come out. I've got several still coming, so keep an eye out for those. And thank you for watching this. Thank you for all the support you guys have given me over the past year and a month is how long I have been smoke free. This channel's still new. I mean, it's less than a year old, I think. So I don't know where I would be without your support. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have this channel to keep me grounded and keep me smoke free. So if you're struggling, please reach out. If you know people that smoke that, you know, don't want to smoke anymore, and let's be honest, most people that smoke don't want to smoke, right? But they're stuck. Give them an old device. Let them try what you've got currently. Worst case scenario, they don't like it or they cough. Okay. Best case scenario, they take a vape and they're like, ooh, wow. And they quit. Okay, guys, I am so busy and so swamped. I've got a baby with sleep regression, classes, vape companies that want the reviews done, friends that need help, and I am exhausted. So I'll see you very soon in my FUPU review that I'll be posting soon. And I'd like to thank again you guys and Anna from Lost Vape. You're the best. See you around.